Hello there, it's Declan Costello here, editor of ENT and Audiology News. I'm delighted to be joined by Professor John Russell from Dublin in Ireland, and we're going to be talking about his presidency of the CEORL Congress. John, lovely to see you.
Thank you very much, Declan. It's a great
Um,
pleasure to be here.
Good. Well, ENT and Audiology News are pairing up with the Congress to talk about what's coming up at the meeting next year. So, but I just want to start because the meeting being in Dublin, I just want to start with really some chat about ENT in Dublin. Dublin has a proud history of ENT surgery. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, our most famous ENT surgeon would, of course, be Sir William Wilde, who was an eye and ear surgeon back in the 1800s. In fact, he got his medical degree in 1837 from the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, and he had his own eye and ear hospital called St. Mark's Hospital. What was interesting about him was that he was actually appointed as chief oculist for Queen Victoria in Ireland, which is quite interesting. And then in 1853, he published a book on practical observations of ear surgery and diseases of the ear and the management of such. But I think everybody will know him as the father of the great Oscar Wilde, and he's probably more famous for that as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was the start. And in those days, they were considered eye and ear surgeons. It's quite interesting that we've moved away from the eye and concentrated on the ear and head and
Yeah,
neck.
we as medics we seem to get increasingly specialised and subspecialised and sub-subspecialised. No, good. Thanks for that. So moving on to CEORL, I mean, can you tell us just first of all what is the CEORL HNS?
Well, that is a good question, which everybody wants to know. What is this confederation? We call it the Confederation for short because it's quite a mouthful to call it the CEORL HNS. But it's basically, it was a concept that was established in 2009 because prior to that, there were three main forces in European otolaryngology head and neck surgery, and they were EUFOS, which represented 41 national societies in Europe. And then there was the Academy, the European Academy, which represented all the subspecialties. And then there was the UEMS, ORL, and board, which basically represented standards and wanted to harmonize training across Europe. And these three forces were independent forces, and several of the senior members on the Academy and EUFOS, the European Academy and EUFOS, decided, wouldn't it be nice if we had one voice in Europe to represent otolaryngology head and neck surgery? And so they started to try and negotiate between the Congress, or the EUFOS and the Academy and the UEMS, and they came to an agreement, and they formed a constitution, and then in 2015 it was ratified in Prague. And we have a Congress every 2 years. It's biannually. And the last one was in Milan in 2022, very successful. And these congresses have now been the biggest otolaryngology head and neck surgery meeting in Europe, with over 3,000 to 4,000 delegates and all the subspecialties. It's basically a congress for everyone from trainees to general practitioner ENTs to the super specialists.
Yeah, no, the Milan meeting was certainly very successful, and so with Dublin next year, what is there an overall sort of theme to the Congress that you can draw together?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's with such a wide scope, it's very hard to actually have a unifying theme. So we prefer to call it an update for otolaryngology head and neck surgery in Europe every 2 years, and that would fit the bill. I'm very lucky to have as my scientific chairman as Mr. Michael Quo, who I'm sure you know well. He's in Birmingham Children's Hospital in the UK, and he's organized a lot of meetings, and he's very proficient and organized, and we have a super program ready for you. We have 16 parallel sessions featuring all the 14 subspecialties, and we have a new addition now this year. For this Congress, we have the Young Confederation, which has been formed. So every otolaryngologist 45 and under can be part of this organization, which is a subset of our confederation. And they have designed their own program, their own track for 3.5 days. And this track will be not really super specialist, but ideally placed for the trainees and the young consultants.
Yeah.
And so that's
And
going to be a new advance. And they've taken complete control of it themselves and organized it.
that's brilliant, and that's been a theme of congresses I've been to over the last sort of 3 or 4 years. Is that actually putting the trainees in charge of sessions gives them the value they need from it. If you could, I mean, I know it's difficult with so much going on. It's going to be very difficult to pick out any key things. But are there any particular things that you're looking forward to? Any headline speakers?
Yeah, well, as president of the Congress, I get to invite 6 keynote speakers, and I'm really looking forward to them. I am being biased, being a pediatric otolaryngologist myself. Unfortunately, I have to have 6 pediatric keynote speakers,
Right.
and there are some big names there. For example, Professor Rutter, who's very famous in the world of airway. And I also have Dana Thompson, Professor Dana Thompson, who has done huge wonders for the condition called laryngomalacia, which is a common problem in pediatrics. And so I'm really looking forward to those keynotes. And of course, I've got the very own Ben Hartley, who's going to give us some insights into his career as a pediatric head and neck surgeon over the years.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
fantastic.
there are some of the things. But I think I should add that we're going to have the scientific program is based into roundtables, keynotes, and instructional courses. And we're going to have 128 roundtables, 110 keynotes, and 112 instructional courses. And what's even more important for the trainees and the young registrars is we're going to have 46 free paper sessions all through for the 2.5 days. And so that's an ideal opportunity for the young registrars and trainees to send in a presentation or a poster.
Yeah, fantastic. It's a huge undertaking that you've agreed to take on there. And what are the main challenges for you as president? What are the main challenges in organizing a meeting like this?
Well, the main challenges, as you can imagine, Declan, are trying to make sure that we have a balanced program in each of the subspecialties. And so the way Michael and I have gone about that is that we have asked for 2 key people in each of the subspecialties. And then we have nominated 2 scientific core people in each of the subspecialties. And these are the 4 people that are going to that help us with the scientific program. And then they've produced the scientific program, and we've already sent out the invitations already to all the different subspecialties. And of course, we're going to get people that have to pull out for various reasons. And that's the next step, is to keep working on filling those key spaces. And that is the biggest challenge with the scientific program, with so many parallel sessions.
Absolutely, keeping all the plates spinning, as it were. No, that all sounds fantastic. Just a final thing, I guess, just about Dublin as a city to visit. What sort of cultural and recreational activities can we look forward to?
Well, we're very lucky to have booked the Guinness Storehouse for our networking, our Congress evening. And you may have visited it yourself in the past, but it's our top tourist destination, would you believe? 1.1 million visitors every year attend the Guinness Storehouse, and we're actually
Wow,
taking it over for the evening for the Congress.
fantastic.
And people can learn how to pull a pint of Guinness, and if they want to drink it, they can as well. And they can also learn about the history of how to make it and how to produce the Guinness. And
Brilliant.
so
No,
that's
I've been to Trinity College a number of times, but the Guinness place will be new to me, so that's very exciting.
well, if you want culture, then you can visit the Book of Kells, which is a 9th century copy of the Gospel. And it's in very ornate, and it's within Trinity College library. And we've had some famous people go to college there. For example, Jonathan Swift, Bram Stoker from the Dracula days,
Mm.
and Samuel Beckett and Oscar Wilde. So Trinity is well worth a visit for people who want to who come to Dublin. And there's also the Phoenix Park, which is the largest open park in Europe, believe it or not. So there's some of the little attractions. It's also an easy place to get from Europe. There's 190 direct flights from all the cities around Europe into Dublin. And it's also easily accessible to the east and west coast of America and Canada. And that brings up the issue of that we're actually co-opted now with the American Academy, and the American Academy give us, as the Confederation, 4 roundtables at their American Academy meeting, and we give them 4 roundtables at the Confederation. And
Fantastic.
so they're very happy to join us and be co-opted with us, and we're the same when we go over to their meeting. So I'm actually going over to Nashville for a pediatric roundtable at the end of September.
Superb. That sounds like a very productive collaboration. John, it's been brilliant to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Look forward to seeing you in Dublin. Remind us of the dates again.
So from the 15th of June, 2024, please
Fantastic.
come.
Yeah.
And we look forward to having you there, Declan.
I'll certainly be there. Looking forward to it. Thanks, John. All the very best. Take care.
All the best. Take care. Bye.
Bye.